This is Jamie Miller from J. Miller Law Firm. It is Friday, February 4th, 2022. I hope everyone is staying safe in this snowstorm we've had this week. It looks like we're on the back end of it and hopefully digging out here shortly. Today's video is a short one on a topic I've not talked about in a little while, and that is probate and avoiding probate. So simply put, probate is the court process of administering a deceased person's estate. This process includes the payment of creditors and expenses, filing of last taxes, distributing assets to heirs or designated beneficiaries, and transferring legal title to assets. Probate can occur both when there is or when there's not a will. So, and generally speaking, if you die with assets that are only in your name, meaning not jointly owned with the right of survivorship, and you have either a will or nothing in place at all, your estate will go through probate after death. So if you have a will, that process will involve your heirs or your beneficiaries proving that the will is valid and that there's no issues with its execution. And then the judge will appoint your representative to oversee your affairs. You should have a person named in your will, hopefully a backup as well. And then it will distribute your assets according to the wishes of your will. Now, if you don't have a will, and assuming not a trust or anything else in place, the process is similar, except that the court will have to appoint someone to be your representative. And there's a formula for who that can be, according to law. And there's an order of preference. And then your assets will be distributed, again, according to a state formula, depending on who is alive that is related to you at the time of your death. And that formula may or may not be what you intended, but that is the formula that will be followed regardless. Now, some probates are simple and some probates are more complicated. A simpler probate would be when there's no conflict between anyone. Everyone can be found and will sign off on documents that may be necessary. And when everyone agrees. And also when everyone is an adult. When there are minors involved, that can also make it more complicated and more lengthy of a process as well. Also, if there's a home or other real estate involved, that property may likely need to be sold. And that process can be simple or more complicated depending on the situation. Some other factors that increase time with probate, there's typically one probate judge in the county. There's one probate judge in Tulsa County. So it takes time. In probate, it's very formulaic in terms of there are steps that have to be followed and timelines that have to be adhered to, and that all just obviously takes time. Also, as just a reminder here, this latest snowstorm, Tulsa County Courthouse was closed for 3 days. So people that had a probate hearing on one of those days will have to be reset. So that's another delay. So again, while probate is not bad, and I can certainly help you with that probate process if it's needed, but I also would recommend we look at some estate planning options to potentially avoid probate. And we can do that through several different ways, depending on the circumstances. A trust would be a common way to avoid probate. And depending on the complexity, there are some other simpler ways that may be appropriate as well. But again, that all depends on your individual circumstances and your goals and your needs. If I can help you with either probate or estate planning, please give my office a call, 918-938-1322. Have a great weekend.